By the end of this video, you're gonna have the exact system that I've developed over the last 15 years of studying finance, becoming a chartered accountant, working within the financial industry, and then since teaching and coaching women from all over the world of how to completely re-engineer, completely recreate your financial reality in just 90 days. It may sound like a big promise, but it all starts with step one, which is so often overlooked, but without it, really nothing is ever gonna happen. And that is, step one is to have your wake-up call. So what I'm talking about here is to have a realization of what is actually happening with your finances. So many women, when I start working with them, are stuck in this ostrich mode. It's a fun term used in the personal finance industry to describe what happens when people tend to just bury their heads in the sand and kind of ignore what's happening with their finances in hope that it will just all take care of itself. Now, yes, the universe has got your back, but it's not going to manage your finances for you. That is in your control. That is why within our Investing Academy, or if you join us inside the collective, you also get access to this. We take you through step one of having a money date. And this is where you take off the blinders, you pull your head out of the sand, and you actually get really clear on what is happening with my finances. Because even though it can be the simplest of things, if you don't know what's happening in terms of how much am I really making, how much am I really spending every month, what am I doing to grow my money, to protect my money, to actually manage it, if you can't answer those questions with a great degree of clarity, then no amount of additional income, which we're going to show you how to make in a minute, will actually move the mark for you financially. So before you move on past go, have your own wake-up call and get clear on what is happening with your finances. Now, if you'd like to be supported on that journey, we of course have our Investing Academy that's also included within our collective, which is our amazing program. It's a 12-week program that we take you through how to truly re-engineer your financial reality in just 90 days. So I'll share more about that later on at the end of this video. Now, if you want to start making your money work for you and become someone who is financially confident, empowered, living your richest life, there's another key element in this equation, which is step two, to envision what that life actually looks like for you. I'm always amazed when I talk to women and ask them, what does your richest life look like? And they have to pause in silence and they say, I don't really know. And I get it, because how often are you giving yourself time to actually tune into what am I working towards? What am I actually trying to, quote unquote, manifest? Or why am I working so hard in my business or my career? Why am I actually wanting to make this extra money? Like, what are you building? So step two is really about envisioning what this rich life looks like for you. Now, visualization is an amazing practice and it can be so often overlooked because it's seen as something that's so simple and so talked about nowadays. But the beautiful thing is that when we look at creating a new reality, including a new financial reality, our subconscious mind, which is literally like the genie in the bottle, it is the creator of what is happening in your life. It cannot tell the difference between what we envision and what is actually happening. So when you're envisioning your rich life, when you're stepping into it, when you're imagining what kind of home am I living in? What kind of career do I have? Who am I surrounding myself with? How do I wake up feeling in my body every day? You're literally programming and preparing your mind to step into that reality. Now, I love visualization and I've shared different videos on this channel guiding you through a practice of stepping into and envisioning your richest life, but also things like vision boards. I've mentioned mine is hanging here on the right-hand side of me, and maybe someday I will show you that. So you can have your vision boards, you can have what it is that you envision to create in your reality, like stick it on your bathroom mirror, post it somewhere that you're going to see it constantly on your phone home screen. Create the environment that you're going to constantly be reminded and triggered of what that rich life you're envisioning and you're creating and stepping into next looks like. Now, I can tell you that wanting that rich life is one thing, but taking action and turning up as a version of you that is ready to live that life is a completely different thing. And this is where we get to step three, which is all about aligning with this new rich life you desire. And this is about aligning your habits, your thinking, and your action so that you are turning up as the version of you who's already living that life. That is the quickest way to quantum leap, to collapse timelines, and to speed up what it is that you are creating, what it is that you are engineering for your own life. Now, when it comes to aligning with your new reality, there is so much we can talk about in terms of the inner work, but I want to share with you just a really practical tip that you can implement right now. So write this down, and that is pay yourself first. Because the wealthy version of you who's living that rich life is certainly paying herself first. So every time money hits your bank account, I want you to actually have pre-decided what percentage of that you're going to pay you before anybody else. Before your bills, your rent, your mortgage, the groceries, debt pay downs, anything like that. You are paying you first because the rich version of you does that. So as we are talking about some of the more practical financial strategies, I have to take you through the next step, which is all about liberating yourself from high interest rate debt like credit cards and unnecessary expenses. So again, something really practical you can do right now is, firstly, do you have credit card debt? And if you do, that needs to become number one priority in your financial management to pay down. Now, the reason I say this is because if you've been in credit card debt before, you'll know that the fees are extortionately high, that they rack up very quickly, and you can very easily find yourself in a financial sinkhole. Now, I would say pay off your credit card debt before we ever start looking at investing or making your money work for you. And the reason being is that how much they are going to charge you for that debt is going to be a lot more than how much you're going to earn from investing. So it's kind of like putting money into a bucket, but you have this gaping hole at the bottom of the bucket. That gaping hole is your credit card debt or high interest rate debt. Now, if you want more support on how do I put in place a strategy to pay that down, again, inside our Investing Academy, which is included inside the collective, we share with you a very simple net worth planner that also has a debt pay down tracker. So you can track everything, make it really simple and accessible for yourself. The other part of this equation is unnecessary expenses. It's actually one of my favorite exercises to take women through because they're always shocked and amazed in delight at how much money they're spending on things that are not adding to their life and that they don't even realize they're spending on. Because again, if you don't go back to step one, the wake-up call of what is actually happening with my finances, it's so easy for money to just be slipping through the cracks, £9 here, £20 here, $30 here, and you not realize how much money on a month-by-month basis you're actually just throwing away. So as you're on this journey to engineer your financial reality, to live your richest life, it's also so important that we actually close those gaps and that we seal up those cracks in your financial system. So with that under wraps, now we can move on to the next step, which is really how do you transform your finances? And we do this by putting your finances on automatic, right? Take human decision, take human behavior out of it, and actually just have your money working for you without you even having to think about it. Now, if you've watched my other videos before, you've heard me reference a very specific type of money management system called the 50-30-20 method. Now, this is a fantastic system, especially if you are just getting started and you've never managed your money with a degree of intentionality or being really conscious about it. It's amazing. However, for those of you that are really on the vibe of building wealth and you're like, I am committed, there's something new I want to share with you that I've seen work incredibly well. I don't think I've shared it on this channel before, so do listen in. But it is actually looking at the Wealth Builders version of this money management system. So instead of 50% going to your essentials like bills, rent, groceries, insurance, things like that, we cut that down to 40%. And I know that might sound like a bit of a stretch, especially in today's economy, but I've done it. I've seen so many women do it too, and I know it's possible. With that at 40%, now we have so much more room to play with when it comes to you enjoying your rich life today, because I am not the person who's going to tell you to coupon your way to financial freedom. I'm all about living your fullest life now as well as protecting yourself for the future. And so we can look at about 20 to 30% guilt-free spending, you doing what you want to do with your money in your life. And then the remainder, which we have anything from 30 to 40% then to play with, we are going to look at investing. Now, this is where literally your money is going to start working for you. And the reason this is really exciting is because once you've gone through this entire system and we show you how to calculate like your financial freedom number and what it will take for you to have enough in investments that you can wake up one morning and say, I never have to work again if I don't want to, because the amount of money my investments is making me, my favorite employee ever, my investments, it's literally making me enough money that I can sustain and live my life as it is today. And that's why this Wealth Builders plan works so well, because so many people talk about financial freedom, but so few people have any understanding about how to actually get there. Now, I've taken you through a lot of steps that can really have a very tangible, practical, meaningful shift in your financial reality. But without this last step, what I've unfortunately seen is women have this incredible experience. They've made all these changes, implemented new habits, have this sense of excitement and empowerment around their finances. And when I speak with them maybe 6, 12 months later, things have changed. And what has happened is that after being in this container for 12 weeks, going through the program, having this incredible transformation, when they leave, they tend to come back down to where everybody else is. All those people in their network that have not been on a transformation, have not transformed their finances, have not installed new habits that will take them towards their rich life. And so that brings me to the final step, which is how do you hold on to progress? And so the way that we solve for this is by creating the most incredible membership, a community of wealth builders, of investors, so that when you finish your 12-week experience, you've had 90 days of a total financial transformation, you're still then part of this incredible community. This is our collective membership. And you're surrounded by other women who are on the same journey, have gone through the same transformation, are having conversations about money that just are not happening or existing outside of that space. And you're not only just learning and continuing to implement on the financial side, because yes, my desire is that for every single person that works with me, they live their financially richest life. And they have everything they need from an internal point of view shifted in order to do that, as well as a strategic point of view set up to ensure that it maintains itself. But living your richest life is also beyond that. So we look at how's your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. We look at your physical health and well-being. We look at relationship health. And so I have the most incredible network of women coming in to share their expertise, their gifts, their wisdom with you, so that you can truly live your richest life in every single aspect. Now, the reason that this works so well isn't just because it's nice to be around other women who are on the same journey, which of course it is, but back in the 1990s, Italian scientists actually discovered something called mirror neurons, which is that there are these brain cells that fire off not only when we do something, but when we watch other people do it too. Now, how this relates back to community and being part of a membership of wealth conscious women is that when you are surrounded by other women who have normalized investing, managing their money, breaking through income ceilings, charging higher prices, negotiating in their career, when you're around that kind of energy and that environment, it then becomes your new normal too. And it literally shifts what is going on inside your brain, which is pretty amazing. Now, I know I've shared a ton of value in this video, but we are literally just scratching the surface. If you want to go deeper on a 90-day transformation, I highly recommend you go and check out the collective now. It's lauratynan.com/collective. We'll put it in the description down below for you to go and explore. If for anything else, please read the stories from other women on there. They are so inspiring and they're so motivating, and it will show you that it does not matter where you are starting. Your financial transformation is not only possible, it is available and it is waiting for you if you take action and say yes. So in 3 months, your entire world could look totally different. So I hope you give yourself that opportunity to say yes to what's available for you, and that I get to support you on that journey ahead. So thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out our next video here too.